Hey guys, I'm back with a new YouTube video. If you haven't seen my last video, I did a reaction video towards 4OU tour with the Dolan twins, and if you haven't seen it, I'll leave the link in the description below. But for this video, I decided to do a reaction video about Change's tour with William Singe and Aiono. For those of you who didn't know, Aiono was also part of the 4OU tour with the Dolan twins. Sadly, I wasn't able to meet Alex that time because the security was being kind of iffy, so they literally cut me off and I wasn't able to meet him. But thankfully, he went on tour a few months later with William Singe, and I got meet and greet passes to go meet him this time. After 9 months, I finally got to meet him. You know, for 4OU, I want to go see them in July, and then I finally met Alex in March. I know it's May already, but I was kind of lazy, but I finally got up from bed and decided to make the video. It was March 10th, 2017. It was on a Friday. I took my cousin with me. Sadly, I wasn't able to afford to give her a meet and greet ticket, but I was able to buy myself one. So my cousin, she got out of school around 3 o'clock because it was still school day. Started getting ready. My confirmation email told me to be there by 4:15, and it was like 3 o'clock. My cousin got to my house around 3:15, and so we left the house around 3:30, almost 4. I literally live like 5 minutes away from the venue, so we didn't have to leave so early. And then my goal was to be the last person in line for the meet and greet, because they say whoever's last, they have like the most time with them, kind of like you're not as rushed since you are the last person. There's no one behind you. So we got to the venue around 4 o'clock, 4 or 5. So the venue was 5 minutes away. I have a rail. In Houston, there's a rail, which is like kind of like the subway, but it's over, not under, if you know what I mean. So the rail is actually behind my house, so we just walked around the block. We got on the rail, we got off, we walked like 2 blocks, and then we got to the venue. We stood in line. We were like the 10th people there, so we waited in line. It was like 4:15, and then more people started coming in, and then security finally started checking us in, checking our papers, making sure if we were 21 or older to give us wristbands so we could buy beer and alcohol and whatever. And then they finally told us to get in line for the meet and greet, right? So for meet and greet, I thought it was like literally, because for the 4OU tour, it was first come first serve. So as soon as you get in line, you meet them. But for here, it was different. Here, you got in line, they checked everybody's like tickets and stuff, and then we went inside and everybody just dispersed. Like you could either wait in line or go get you some merch, or just stand there and do whatever you want. And I thought it was gonna be like 4OU, where it was you get in line and then as soon as you're in line, you're gonna meet them. So since I wanted to be last, I decided to go all the way to the back of the line. Huge mistake. It started raining on us, and I had no umbrella. My hair was done, I had my makeup done. I had actually made a jean jacket with a bunch of patches, and then I even made a patch of Alex Aiono. If you don't know his symbol, it's like a two white triangles, and it's A for Alex. I made it myself because he didn't have any patches of that, so I just made it myself. Like I embroidered it myself and I glued it onto the patch. And I was really mad because it said it wasn't gonna rain, but it's Houston, you never know when it's gonna rain. The weather is never accurate. So it started raining. I was literally by a tree, like I was under a tree. It wasn't raining as bad, but then it started pouring, and then a girl saw me under the tree, so she told me to go under her umbrella. So I thanked her and all that. And then I was surprised that the ladies who were checking our tickets were still checking our tickets. I thought if it started pouring, they would have just let us outside. They would have just went back inside, but no, they got soaked. It started raining so hard, but they didn't stop because they wanted us to go inside already, so they still kept checking everybody's badges. I saw them, they were soaking wet, and I was still the last person, so they didn't even check my ticket. They just asked me for my last name, and then I told them my last name. And then she was like, okay, I think I saw your name. So they just gave me the badge and we just went in. So they didn't even check my ticket. They didn't even check if I had a meet and greet. They just gave me the VIP pass. And then we finally went in. Now in the front they checked my backpack and all that. And then at first they weren't letting us in with any drinks or anything. And then I had taken Alex some jarritos because a month before I went to go meet him, he tweeted saying that he wanted some jarritos. So I'm like, okay. I didn't know, because I wanted to give him a gift, but I didn't know what to give him. So I decided just to give him some jarritos, and I did. But then they told me we couldn't get any drinks inside. So luckily I had hit them very well in my backpack, and the security guy didn't see the drink. And then I finally went in, and I thought it was gonna be first come first serve. You know, once you're in line, you stay in line. But no, people just did whatever they wanted. They just got it. You could either get in line and wait for them to go, wait for you to meet them, or meanwhile you're waiting, you could just go into the merch table and buy something, buy some merch, or you could just go to the restroom, stand in line, do whatever you wanted. I wasn't mad. I was just kind of disappointed because, you know, I went all the way to the back of the line thinking that as soon as you walked in, you were gonna meet them. But no, I literally could have been the first one in line, but still been the last person to meet them. But I mean, it was okay because I didn't get that wet because of the girl. Luckily the girl let me be under her umbrella. So only my back got wet. My face was still dry. The front of my hair was still dry. And then I finally went in, and I went straight to the merch table because I know there wasn't that many t-shirts left. So I went and I bought myself a William Singe shirt, and then I bought myself an Alex Aiono shirt. Hallie Aiono, which was Alex Aiono's sister, she was the one handling his merch. So I was able to say hi to her. I talked to her for a few seconds because there wasn't anybody in line. And then I was able to take a picture with her. And then there were still a lot of people in line, so I just stood there. I went to the restroom. I was in my phone. I just stood there, and then finally there was like probably 10-15 people, and then there was like at the end of the line they're like behind some stairs. There's a staircase right there, so I just decided just to sit down in the staircase and just wait for the line to clear up. And then finally the line cleared up, and the security guy came up to me. They're like, are you gonna meet them? I'm like, yeah, but I'm just waiting for me to be last. I'm like, okay, that's fine. So finally there was one more person in line, so I stood up and I waited in line, and then it was finally my turn. I actually had downloaded this app on iPhone. It's called Airshow, and then it allows you to record your phone, because I know for meet and greets you can't videotape anything, you can only take pictures. But while they were taking pictures, I was actually also recording, so I was actually able to record the whole thing while I met them. And then I quickly put on the app, and then it was finally my turn. I had all my merch and stuff in my hands, so I quickly put all my merch on the bar because I didn't want to have stuff in my hands. So I quickly put them in the bar, and then I went straight. I hugged Alex first, and he's like, oh hi, how are you? And then I want to go hug William Singe, and he's like, oh hi, how are you? I'm like, oh, I'm good, thanks. And then Alex was like, did you just get here? And I'm like, no, I just wanted to be the last person in line. I was actually the first ones here, but I want to be the last person in line. And then he was like, oh, okay, so it's save the best for last. I'm like, yeah, exactly. And then we quickly took our pictures. It was just a regular picture. I wanted a regular picture. I'm kind of basic, you know, I don't have any ideas like other girls do. And then before I left, I'm like, oh, I have some gifts for you guys. And then I gave Alex my jarritos, right? He's like, oh my god, these are my jams, you know, and then he started dancing with them. It was pretty funny. And then I gave William his bandana. I gave Will some bandanas because, you know, on every video that he films of him singing, he always has a bandana on. And so I decided to buy a pack of 12 bandanas, and it's like 12 different colors. So I gave them to him. He was very they were both very grateful for what I gave him. And then I was actually kind of glad that I gave them something, because I was actually the only one who gave them something. Nobody else gave them something, so I was kind of happy for that. And then they were very happy, you know. It wasn't, I don't want to be rude, but it was nothing compared to 4U. With 4U, Kyle, their security guard, they didn't let me give them anything. They made me give it to him, put him on the table. I gave the Dolan twins some t-shirts. I made them t-shirts. I wanted to show it to them, but Kyle didn't let me, and he made me put him on the table. I was pretty upset with that, because I've seen other videos of girls giving them stuff in their hand, and Kyle didn't let me. I was kind of upset, but I mean, I guess. But it was nothing compared to 4U. Changes tour was a lot better. Like, I was actually able to talk to them. You know, I talked to Phil, their photographer. But with the twins didn't even say hi to me. They said hi, but they didn't really talk. Ethan tried talking to me, but he kind of kept stuttering. But I mean, it was kind of cute. So, and then Grayson just kept checking me out, like always. And then he finally spoke up, because I had a shirt with their faces on it. He's like, "Oh, I like your shirt." I'm like, "Oh, thank you." And then with Alex, he's like, "Oh, I really like your jacket." And then I showed him my patch. I showed Hallie my patch. She's like, she thought it was really cool. She asked me how I made it, and I told her I just embroidered it in the jacket. And then I was finally able to leave. I hugged him goodbye, and then I went to the bar to go get my merch. Now y'all thought my title was clickbait, but it's not. When I went up to the bar to get my merch was gone. And I couldn't find it anywhere. And then people saw me freak out, and then everybody was like, "What's happening? What's going on?" And then I'm like, "My merch is gone. Someone took it. I left it in the bar and it's gone." And they're like, "What do you mean it's gone?" Like, it's gone. Like, it's not even in the bar. And then people went behind the bar to check to see if it had fallen back, and it wasn't. And then I started pacing back and forth, and then Alex and Will were still there. I started pacing back and forth just by them, just going back and forth. And then they were both like, "What's wrong? What's going on?" And then I told them, "My merch is gone. Someone took it." And then they both said in sync, "What do you mean they took it? Who took it?" And I'm like, "I don't know who took it." And then 5 minutes later, they just left. I'm like, "Oh, okay." But I mean, they had to leave to go get ready for the show, so I wasn't mad or anything. And then finally, Phil came up to me, their photographer, and he started helping me. And then all the security guards started helping me find my merch, and nobody found it. And then finally, William Singe's merch manager, his name was Alex, he came up to me. He's like, "Hey, I know they told me what happened. Don't worry about it. We're gonna give you new merch, you know. Just come by my table like 10 minutes from now. So once I'm back in the table, I'll just give you new merch." I'm like, "Oh, okay, thank you so much." And then 10 minutes passed, and then I went up to the table, and then he gave me the William Singe shirt, which is this right here. It's the long sleeve. It's long sleeve, you know. And then it has like these lines right here. This William Singe, pretty basic, but I like simple shirts. I don't like over dramatic shirts. And then I asked Alex, "Hey, so do I just go up to Hallie and tell her if she can give me a new shirt?" He's like, "Yeah, sure, just go tell her and then she'll give you a new shirt." I went up to Hallie, and then I told her my situation, and she just looked at me like, "Huh?" Like, she looked really confused. I'm like, "Hey," and I told her, I'm like, "Hey, my merch was stolen." And then Alex told me you were able to give me a new one. He's like, and then I understand that she couldn't give me one. She just told me that nobody told her anything, so she would have to ask their merch manager to see if they could give me one. And then she told me to just come by after the show to go and ask her again, and so I could find out, see if their merch manager let them give me a new shirt. And so I'm like, "Oh, okay, thank you so much for your help anyways." And then I went back to my spot. Before the show started, people started screaming like really loud. I guess there was someone famous also in the show, but I couldn't really see who it was because I'm kind of short. I'm like 5'3", and everybody started screaming. And then I kept asking people around, and they told me it was Simone Biles, that Olympic person, the girl. She's also from Houston, Texas. She was there, she attended the show, and then she came out, and then I saw her, and then she started doing a Snapchat, and then she went back inside, and then that's finally the show started. First it was Alex who came out, and then he did you know, he sang his songs, and then he sang these new songs, and I was so happy. They were actually really good songs. Like I think he sang 2 songs. He sang More Fire, and then he sang How Fine You Are. I think that's what it's called. I'm not sure what it's called, but that's what he says in the lyrics, so I'm guessing that's what it's called. And then he sang his new song, Work the Middle. Question wasn't out yet, so he didn't sing that song. And then he sang all of his most of his covers, his most viewed covers, his most popular ones, and he sang amazing. Like, he sang exactly the same as when I went to go see him at For You. It was amazing. And then I really liked how he was more himself in Change's tour, because in For You, most of the girls they're like under the age of 16, and he's 21, so he wasn't able to like dance how he wanted to dance. But here in Change's tour, since William is 25, so he had older girls like my age, 18, 19, being their fans, so he was able to like dance more and then grind and all that stuff. So I was really glad that he was more himself than in For You tour. And then he sang all his songs. And then when he sang Work the Middle, he actually brought out Simone Biles. I wasn't able to record it because I don't know why. I think my phone died and I wasn't able to record him, but he brought out Simone Biles, and then they started dancing, and then she left, and then he sang his last song was One Dance, and then after he sang One Dance, he left, and then William Singe came. I didn't really know that many William Singe songs. Like, I knew some of them, but I didn't know all of them by heart. But I knew his songs, I just didn't know them by heart because I didn't really listen to him. I didn't even know about him until he made a cover with Alex. So that's when I got to know him, and then that's when I went to his channel, and then I listened to all his songs, and they were pretty good songs. I really like how his covers are more like slow down. I love how he does his covers are old school music instead of new school. So he does old school mixed with new school. Like that one song, Let Me Love You by Justin Bieber, and then he also did Let Me Love You by Mario. That's like my favorite cover of him. And then he also sang these really amazing new songs that hasn't come out yet. One of them is called Touch, and it's amazing. And then he sang his songs, and then he left, and then everybody thought the show was over until finally Alex and Will came out again, and they sang both of their covers. They did the Black Beatles, and they also did their other cover song. I forgot what it was called. It's so many names, and they both sang it, and I loved how William was able to hit that high note on one of his covers. And then I think it's so funny how every time Will hits that high note, Alex just falls on the floor, like, you know how he is. He like fell on the floor, like, because he was like, oh my gosh, like he just like blew him away, so he fell to the floor. No, I thought it was really cute. I love how they have that bromance, brotherlyhood going on. And they finally left, and then everybody thought it was finally over since they sang both of their covers. So everybody started walking out, and then they started walking out the door until they finally and then the DJ started telling, no, come back, because there's gonna be another performance. And then finally Will and Alex came out again, and then the DJ was just playing like a beat, and then William and Alex came out, and they just started dancing. Like, they just started doing that I don't know if you guys have watched White Chicks, but they started doing that little dance routine they have in the video, in the movie, and it was pretty funny. And then all you see is a crowd. They were screaming, and the crowd started running. Like, it was like what are they called, the bull runs? Like, it was like a bunch of like bulls, like this. They just ran to the stage back. I'm surprised nobody got hurt, but they did like a little 5-minute dance routine, and then it was finally over. So they left and the lights finally went on, which meant that the concert was finally over. Then everybody started leaving. I decided to wait a little longer for for the people to leave the venue so I could be able to go back to Hallie to try to see if I could get my merch, my Alex Aiono merch. So I went in, so it was basically empty, and I finally went to the merch table, and then I saw that Hallie still had a line, so I waited to the end, and then I went up to her. I'm like, hey, were you able to talk to your manager about my merch? Sure. And then sadly she told me that her manager told her no, that they couldn't do that. She basically told me, once it's yours, it's your responsibility. They couldn't give me another one. I knew she wasn't trying to be rude, so I understood her, where she was coming from, because it was my responsibility. But I never thought that someone would take my merch during my meet and greet. I never thought, because I didn't see anybody behind me, because I was the last person to meet them, so I didn't see anybody. There was no other family, no other girl behind me, so I didn't think anybody was gonna take it. The only people who were there was security, and I don't think they took it, but who knows, maybe it was one of the workers there in the show or something. Finally, I had to leave. It was like 12 o'clock, I think, and then we went outside. And then I know at the end of every show they do like a group picture, so we decided to wait a little longer, and then we went to go take the group picture. I didn't want to be in the picture because it was like first come first serve, and since I'm really short, if I was standing in the back you wouldn't be able to see me, so I decided just to go through the front and then just see them take the picture. And then and then they finally came out, and then it was pretty funny because then I saw Alex and Will, they were like hugging each other like through their shoulders, and then I saw Alex drinking the jarrito I had given him, and then he looked kind of tipsy, so it was pretty funny. And then they finally came out, and they took the picture, and then I was standing next to Phil, and then Phil was taking the picture, and then I also decided to take a picture on my phone, and then that's basically it. You know, Alex left, and then William Singe left, and then I just called my sister and she picked me up. Overall, the show was really good. They sound exactly as how they sound in their covers. They don't sound different. Sorry, I also live by a train, so you're gonna be hearing that a lot. I don't want to sound rude with For You tour, but in my opinion, Change's tour was way better. They were both really good shows. I'm just saying that Change's tour was like more organized. Like, it was very well more organized. But I guess I could see why For You tour was like that, because it was one of their first shows. Because it was in June, so it was like right when like their show. Houston was probably like their 5th, 6th show that they had. So I could see why they were still a little bit iffy with everything, with all the issues they had. So I'm not complaining. Like, I love For You. Like, I never knew what to expect, because they're just they're YouTubers that make challenge videos. So I never expected what they could do, because they don't sing, they don't dance, they don't do anything of that. But it was really funny when I went to they were really funny. They were very cool when they went to when they performed on stage, the Dolan Twins. And they're also very humble, very chill, but they were kind of intimidating. They were kind of awkward because they didn't really say much, so we were just kind of standing there just staring at each other. But it was still really nice. And then Change's tour. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And now I heard that Alex Aiono and Sabrina Carpenter are going on tour, and I actually already bought tickets to go meet him again. So I will be meeting Alex Aiono again, and hopefully I will be able to do another reaction video. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe. I don't know if I'm gonna be doing weekly videos. I don't know what I'm gonna be doing with this channel, but I'll post videos. If y'all want, you can leave comments below to see what you guys want to see me do. I also did post I posted a video of me singing, so if you want to go watch that, you can. I'll leave the link in the description below. That's basically it. I'm not really good at these outros kind of stuff, you know, so I guess I'm gonna be basic. I'm gonna be like the Dolan Twins. Peace.
Alright, ready? Alright, 1, 2, 3. Alright, there you go.
Wait up. just want to get a picture of you guys holding the jersey.
Oh, okay.
For her.
Yeah, no way. Yeah, we got you. She said, I can't figure it out.
Oh, what?
Oh, yo.
He got the ultimate pack. He is never running out.
Hey, I never need to bother him ever again.
Never.
These are my champs.
Auritos. Oh, I love those. You came with all the gifts.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah. Everybody else?
Smart, she's smart. But you were wet though. You got hella wet.
Huh?
Did you get hella wet outside?
Yeah, I got soaked outside. I was the first one here, but I got soaked. I went always in the back.
Oh.
That's dedication. I could never be the first one that they decide to go in the back.
Oh my gosh. Are you done?